Welcome to the latest edition of Anyone, Anywhere, Anytime with me, Marchand Kenny. Well, I recently had a conversation with my wife and I told her, baby, you have one life to live. Just one. That's it. It's one. And for whatever reason, you decided to marry a man whose overall mental health relies on Southern Miss football. But I'm not going to be doom and gloom. I'm just not this show. I refuse to do it. I'm going to find some positives. And I found a huge positive Saturday night in our loss to Texas State at the Rock. And it came in the form of an effort play. And it came from our safety, Jay Stanley. So we're down 42-16 in the third quarter. And a Texas State running back takes off for what looks like to be a 90-plus yard touchdown run. And I'm watching on TV. And when he gets to about our 40-yard line, I see this guy come from the far side of the field and run after this Texas State running back like his life depended on it. And it was Jay Stanley. And you know what happened? Is that running back got really close to the goal line. And just before he crossed the goal line with the ball, Jay Stanley leapt out with all he could with all his might and stripped the ball. And the ball went into the end zone for a touchback. And it sparked a rally for us. I mean, that's why I'm so big on effort plays. I mean, if you give everything you got every play, great things can happen. So there's my positive take for Southern Miss football right now, because we surely do need it. Well, one positive thing is that it's homecoming week this weekend, and I thought it a perfect time to ask the fans to reminisce about some of their favorite homecoming moments. And we'll get into some of those fan comments in this next section that we call For and Out. So yeah, with homecoming this weekend, I thought it'd be a great time for everybody to share some of their favorite homecoming memories. And I tried to get to them all, but I can't because this segment limits me because the name of it is For and Out. So I picked four of them, but a lot of good ones, and I apologize for not getting into them all. But first up, one I picked was from Jason Brigman. Shares a great memory of the year I got to do a t-shirt cannon. And look at this cannon. Look at this thing. That's something like you'd use in the Army. I mean, there might have been some black eyes and some bruises from those shirts being shot into the student section, it seems, right there. So hopefully everybody was safe. But hopefully a lot of people got some pretty cool t-shirts back then. Next up, Memphis Kim said our slogan, anyone, anywhere, anytime, is her favorite memory of homecoming. And she also says one of her favorite moments is just seeing legendary head coach Jeff Bauer. Thanks for the Jeff Bauer love. You know, I love that man. Next up, Mike Sullivan talks about a drinking episode in 1976 at a homecoming where he got in a fight. The fight was with a bottle of 151 Bacardi, and he lived to tell the tale. So I love that. Be careful drinking too much this weekend at homecoming, everybody. And next up, Jamie Arrington said the 2008 homecoming where Southern Miss beat UAB 70-14, and it got the win, and it got the season back on track too at that moment. So great homecoming moment. And you know what? I know it's a For and Out segment. I'm only supposed to pick four, but what the heck? Maybe there was a penalty on the play and get to redo the fourth down. So I got to add another comment. I thought it was pretty slick and cool and fitting. Comes from Leonardo, and he says his favorite homecoming moments are just winning. I feel you right there, Leonardo. And let's just start winning Southern Miss football. Let's do it soon. Well, today's interview comes with one of the most elusive running backs in the history of Southern Miss football. His nickname was the Judge, but he was the judge and the jury on a lot of defenses that he played against. So today's interview is with the one and only Ito Smith. Well, today's interview is with one of the most elusive threats in Southern Miss football history. He's the school's all-time, all-purpose yards guy with over 6,500 all-purpose yards in his career. Without a doubt, a future Southern Miss Hall of Famer. So with all that said, I'm bringing you the legend, Ito Smith. And Ito, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be talking to you today. You're a Southern Miss legend as well.
Man, but you talk about bringing the fire back though to Southern Miss football. By the time you were done, we had some dark days before you were there and turned that puppy
Hmm.
around, man. So I speak for a lot of people. Eternally grateful for getting us back on the map while you were there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. It was my first year. It was a little bit rough. I think we had 3 wins. Um, we got to turn it around though. Coach Monkey brought Coach Woodfin in, and it was all about movement, workouts. I don't know. It just started clicking for us. We got it going. We got the ship turned the right way. Got us back.
Heck yeah, and we're going to get into a lot of those Southern Miss moments in this interview. I promise you that. But
Mhm.
first up, I want to talk about your nickname, one of the coolest nicknames in the history of football, the Judge. Man,
Uh-huh.
how'd you get that nickname?
All right. So shoot, I'm born around September 11, 1995. Well, not around the date I was born. Um, my cousin, she was about 4 or 5 at the time. Her name was Brittany Smith. Um, she had been watching the O.J. Simpson trial with her grandmother, and when I was born, the trial was going on. They said this what was told to me. They said she came to the hospital. She's like, he looked like Judge Ito. I don't know how true it is, but that's the story. That's the tale that everybody says. That's what happened. And ever since then, the name stuck. So everybody been calling me Judge Ito since then.
what a great story. The nickname was based off the biggest trial I've ever seen on TV, man. It took over
Right.
the world. But I like to think of the Judge nickname because you were the judge and the jury on a lot of defenses in your career. And it all started in Mobile, Alabama at McGill-Tulane High School, where you were just all everything in high school, man. Give me some stories from Mobile, Alabama in the high school days.
I started out. I went to a school before McGill. I went to Mary G. Montgomery. My 9th and 10th grade year, I played freshman ball at Mary G. Um, 10th grade year, I played varsity. I wasn't the starter. Um, in my opinion, I was better than the starter, but you know how it is with coaches and seniors in high school and stuff like that. So, um, we decided to. Someone just called me. I'm sorry. We decided to transfer. So I went to a new school. Went to McGill. Um, and everything worked out in my favor. God, God was good to me. Um, got to work at McGill. It was the hardest I ever had worked in my life. The workouts were so much different than my first high school. Um, yeah, and it was a good team. I had a lot of good guys around me, good offensive line. We had weapons, so everything wasn't on me. And yeah, balled out. Um, junior year, we played Auburn in the semifinals. No, not the semifinals. I think it was the second round of the playoffs, and we lost. The following year, we made it all the way to, which is my senior year. The following year, we made it all the way to the semifinals and lost to Auburn again. Then I had about 20, 21 offers going into my senior season, but they were all. My first offer was Duke. No, my first offer was Georgia Tech. Then Duke offered me after that. So those are ACC schools. Guess they were just competing against each other. I decided I didn't like the triple option with Georgia Tech, so I decided I was going to wait. I was going to ball out my senior year, um, ball out, and then in hopes of getting a bigger school to offer me. But you know how it is with recruiting. Um, my senior year, they looking on to the next guys. They pretty much at the end of the season, they pretty much have their recruiting classes filled up. So spots got filled. So it was 2 or 3 weeks before signing day, and nobody's hitting me up or anything. All the spots filled up basically. And my coach, Coach Bart Sessions, I think he called down to Southern Miss. He called down to Southern Miss for me, as well as I was in the Alabama Mississippi game, and the um, coach it was Lance Shuford's stepdad. I can't think of his name right now. Oh my God, I can't believe it. You remember Lance Shuford, long
Yep.
snapper? It
Yep.
was his stepdad. Jamie Dubose. That's his stepdad. He's a legendary coach in Alabama high school history. He was my coach in the Alabama Mississippi game, and he really took a liking to me. So, my coach Sessions called Southern Miss, and Lance was at Southern Miss already, long snapping, and I guess they called Jamie Dubose, and he like vouched for me or whatever. Said I was a hard worker, blah blah blah, and so they sent down John Carr to Mobile, and he came to the school, and we talked. He met my family, and Southern Miss had a running back already committed. His name was Poppy White, I believe, and he was kind of the same back I was, but I think he switched his commitment. He ended up going to Ohio or something, and so once he did that, then shoot, they offered me, and they kind of put me on the spot. You got to make a decision right now, and I said, okay, I'm coming, and I ended up coming to Southern Miss.
Man, that's
pretty
all.
much the story. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Some of these recruiting stories doing this show, man, it's not an easy process sometimes, and it's last minute. You're a big recruit, but then it comes down to this. But we're so glad we got you. I mean,
I'm so glad it came. Everything always works out how it's supposed to work out. And I couldn't write a better story. Who knows if I could go to a big school, Auburn or Alabama, I even get on the field, I make it to the NFL, So I don't know. In my opinion, everything always works out how God has it planned.
Absolutely, man. And it was a big plan and the big things you did at Southern Miss. But when you first get there, man, let's call it what it is. Southern Miss is coming off of 0-12 seasons in 2012. 1-11 seasons in 2013, man. What was the vibe at Southern Miss? And did you know what you signed up for fully?
Nah, I didn't. Because I came from a winning program in high school, so I got to Southern Miss. I was like, oh, we losing. I wasn't really used to it. Yeah, I don't know. It was just all about the mentality. I think when the guys just were like beat. The older guys, they had been there throughout the losing. So, they kind of just were down. Coach Wood, when he came in my second year, he just changed the mentality of everybody. It's mental, man. That played a big part, just making us believe in ourselves. And we worked hard. We worked really hard. We got it switched around.
Yeah, you did. We'll talk all about it, kind of the story building up to it. But that freshman year, I mean, you're showing that you're a rushing and receiving threat. You have over 800 all-purpose yards as a freshman. And you start as a freshman in your first game at Mississippi State. Man, what's that vibe like, your first college football experience at a big SEC school?
Mississippi State, that game, it was just crazy. But I think we played Alabama that same year. That was the one I really was nervous. We played those guys. I don't know. It was different, man. The crowd. I don't know. The game was way much faster than high school, so it was just getting accustomed to the game speed. Preparation, just taking care of your body. It was different from high school. Really.
Yeah, and what was great about you were clearly a different running back for Southern Miss. I mean, you could tell how special you're going to be against Marshall. Alcorn State as a freshman, you have over 100 yards. And y'all are 2-2 after the first 4 games. I mean, we hadn't been 500 in a while, so in 3 years. So could you kind of feel things as a freshman starting to turn around with you and Coach Monken?
I started out hot with Coach Monk, but then I guess I kind of hit like in the NFL, like where you hit a wall, kind of. Coach Monk, like we had, I remember one game we played Middle Tennessee, he benched me. And George Payne just started, put me back in. So it was just good times, man. Good times. It's all a part of the journey.
Yeah, and what a journey! And like I said, you finished 3-9 that year, but you just kind of see this offense. You see in enough light that Coach Monken and you
Mhm.
guys are going to turn it around. And man, you talk about turning around your sophomore year. I mean, and just really turn around. We'll get into the story. You have over 1,000 yards, and you're an all-purpose guy. Just unique to college football. In the first game of that year is at the Rock versus Mississippi State. It's a packed house. What's
Yeah,
that like with the Rock with that kind of environment?
it was really exciting. We hadn't. Well, I mean, the year before that, we played Alcorn. Alcorn. It was pretty packed out. Um, that game, yeah, it was a lot of people. It was really exciting. I think they were ranked like what number? They ended up getting ranked number one
They,
that
they,
year, huh?
they were really good. They had Dak Prescott, and I don't think they win that
hmm
game at the Rock without Dak Prescott. We know how good he is.
hmm Yeah, we I think it was a close game throughout the first half, right?
Absolutely. And the third quarter is still close. And they
Yeah,
just,
we were in there. Yeah, and then
yeah.
they just kind of pulled away at the end. But yeah, I can't. I don't really remember the game. I don't really remember. I just
Well,
remember
no.
so well.
Well,
That
I'm
was a
here to
long
fill in
time
the
ago.
blanks. I just know I watched it on TV, and that place was special. It was rocking. It was good to see the Rock kind of rocking again. And you
Yeah.
guys also go to
Uh-huh.
Nebraska that year, play them close. It just,
hmm
we're getting back to winning ways. And
Yep.
also during that year, the offense scores over 50 points 5 times. So now we're clicking. Now we're going, man. Do you
And
feel the vibe?
I only can imagine how it was for you watching it. I didn't really keep up with Southern Miss and know the history of Southern Miss before I came to Southern Miss. I remember one time when I was in high school, probably maybe the ninth or 10th grade, I saw Southern Miss on. They were playing Houston, Case Keenum in the championship game, and like Tracy Lampley had like a big game. So I didn't really know much about Southern Miss, and so once I got there, that's when I start kind of learning about Southern Miss.
Yeah, and you definitely changed the ways for him. And like I said, got us back to a game where we're 8-3, last game of the season at Louisiana Tech. And this is huge. We're playing for the Conference USA West Division title. We hadn't been in these kind of games in so long. You put up monster numbers against them. We beat them 59-24. But that game against Louisiana Tech, winning that game, getting back to the Conference USA Championship game. Did you realize when you won that game the impact that you made on Southern Miss football getting us back?
Nah, we were just winning, man. What my point what I just said earlier, a second before this, what I said I meant like I only can imagine like what it was like for you, knowing the history, the nasty bunch y'all winning, and watching the transformation, us getting back. I couldn't really, I didn't. It wasn't my viewpoint. You know what I mean? I couldn't
Absolutely, I
really.
get it. I get it.
Yeah. So it was, yeah. But yeah, back to your question, Louisiana Tech. Yeah, that was a big game. It was raining out there. The fans traveled really well. We had a lot of support there. And it was like, well, we scored like 3 or 4 touchdowns in 2 minutes or something, I think. Back to back to back to back. It was crazy.
And there's no love lost between Southern Miss fans and Louisiana Tech fans, which made it extra special. So, but
hmm
I mean, you guys drop 59 points, win the CUSA West, get to the Conference USA Championship game against a really good Western Kentucky team. Don't win it, but get to the heart of Dallas Bowl and playing Washington. There's a theme here, man. You had Southern Miss when you got there at the depths. Now we're back to conference championships, bowl games, man. How did it feel? Okay, we got this thing turned around.
Man, it's like when you're doing it, you don't really realize what you're doing. You know how great it is. You just doing every day the usual, going to work, working out every day, going to class, going to practice, and then we just kept stacking, and man, we were winning. That was fun. The Heart of Dallas Bowl. We had a good time out in Dallas. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the win. I believe that's another game. We were close in the game for a minute, and they kind of pulled away from us at the end. Or what was the score? I don't remember.
I don't have the score in front of me, but we played them tough for a long time in that
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. Mike Thomas had a big game. Casey, they both did really well. Yeah, we unfortunately we couldn't come out with the victory, but We what our record was 12 and what?
No,
12 and
that year in 2015 at the end of the season, 9-5. So, but won the
okay, 9 and 5.
CUSA.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey, but
9
won
and
the
5. Yeah,
CUSA West and kind of got Southern Miss back on the map, man. It may have felt
mm-hmm.
like 12 wins because we were
Yeah.
so
I
excited.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, dude. It was one of those years. Like people are like, finally. I don't care how many wins we got, we're winning again because we haven't done this in
Yeah.
so long, man. And people are so
Mm-hmm.
thankful for you. But
if you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
But after that year, things do happen. Coach Malkin winds up leaving. How was that losing to Coach Malkin after you got this back to winning ways?
Everybody was sad. You don't really know what's next. The unknowns. Yeah, we still had Coach Wood fan after he left. I lost my running back coach, Coach Simon. He played a tremendous part in my career. I remember my sophomore year, he was like, "You're a smaller back. You gotta be able to do it all. You gotta block, catch and run." He was like, "You get 1,000 yards every season, and 500 receiving yards, you'll go to the league." So he said that's the blueprint. You got to just do that, and you'll go to the league. And so I missed him a lot when he left. But Coach Pollard came in. You played with Coach Pollard, huh?
Oh yeah, that's my guy, man.
Coach Pollard, my guy. Coach Pollard, he really knows how to take care of his players. And it's like some coaches, you know how some coaches are with the head coach. Coach Pollard, like he can stand on. He's not like a chump to the head coach. you know how it is, man. But yeah, so Coach Pollard, he took really good care of us. He used to take care of me in practice. As long as I showed up on Saturdays, I was good. He just took care of us. He really did.
You definitely showed up on Saturdays, and then more to come in your junior and senior year. But man, how was it like for you being the big man on campus now that you made a name for yourself between that sophomore junior year? Like people know you are.
Nah, you know how it is with football. You wear helmets, so nobody don't really know who you is. Then I'm a smaller guy, so I just like an ordinary guy. But yeah, it was some people knew who I was. I really just was low key. I wasn't going out, going to clubs, going to parties and stuff like that. So I was all football in college. I don't know, sometimes I think about it, I say, dang, I wish I had more fun in college, but it all worked out.
It most certainly worked out. And getting to your junior year, man, this is where you're starting to do big things. I'm going to read it. You had 1,459 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns. And the first game of your junior campaign, one of the coolest games in Southern Miss history. You talk about Southern Miss grit, Southern Miss fighting to the end. So we're at Kentucky. First game of the season, down 34-10 in the second quarter, and make the comeback of a lifetime and win that game 44-35. You have a monster game that game. Talk about that Kentucky game, and because it's one of my favorite games I've ever seen Southern Miss play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're kind of talking about this stuff. It doesn't have the same effect on me as it does you. You watch it, so you like it's entertaining, like to you. To me, I'm in it, so it's like I'm not really like you don't get to really enjoy it as you do when you watch it. But I don't know, man. What they got out to like a 28-0 lead or something.
34-10 in the late in the second quarter, and we come back and win.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know how we stayed positive at halftime on that one. I don't know. I forgot what the speech was at halftime. We came out and we kicked butt. We came back out.
Oh heck yeah, you kicked butt, and that was just so much fun. There was video of the locker room, you guys celebrating, and it's where Southern Miss has fallen. Now we're seeing these wins. We're seeing bowl games, man. There's a whole theme with your career going. Maybe you don't realize how many people you impacted, including me. I'm hosting a show here with you on it. So there, for example. But win that game, and And man, you're becoming one of the better backs, all-purpose backs in college football. And there's a game we're playing Savannah State at the Rock after that. You have an 86-yard touchdown run, which was the school record for longest run. Do you remember that run, or did you know?
Is it still the record?
That I know of, that I've seen. Maybe it's broken, but that I know of, what I've seen.
I just didn't like how my shoulder pad was looking. It was my jersey. I guess a guy had pulled my jersey, and I looked kind of funny to me when I was running. But yeah, I had the long sleeves on, I believe. And I don't know. I just got the ball and I broke the tackle on the wide receivers. They did a good job blocking down the field, and took it to the house.
Yeah, memorable one. Yeah, you did. You also had 70-yard runs against Troy, which was huge. You had another 69-yard run that season. I mean, you are just a playmaker. And in your junior year, with all that said, leads to the last game, man, trying to keep us at those winning waves. We're 5-6. Got Louisiana Tech at the Rock, and we get the win, and we clinch a bowl bid. And you're really ticking off Louisiana Tech at this point, because you're ending their dreams 2 years in a row.
Yeah, we dominated them. We dominated them in my junior year. We killed them in my junior year. And they ain't stand a chance. But I don't know. I guess I turned every time we played Louisiana Tech. I used to turn up.
Yes, you did.
That was my
kryptonite. You were Louisiana Tech's kryptonite, man. But we win that game with the Rock, and people fired up again. We wound up going to a bowl game and going to the New Orleans Bowl. And I know for a fact the New Orleans Bowl had been trying to set up this game with Southern Miss and the Cajuns for years. And they finally got it, man. And I was there. There was tons of Southern Miss people that showed up and win that game 28-21. Once again, you have another breakout 100-plus yard performance. You're running up 3 touchdowns in the game, win 28-21. Man, how was that night beating the Cajuns in the Superdome?
That was a fun night. So close to home. A lot of family got to come to the game. I think that's actually my favorite game at Southern Miss. Yep, my favorite game. On my last game with Nick, I balled out. It was just receiving touchdown, rushing. I don't know. We dominated them. That was one of my favorite games.
Yeah, you were fun to watch that game. It was a fun night in New Orleans. A lot of people went to Bourbon Street after, had a really good time celebrating the Golden Eagles. And man, and this is all setting you up for your senior year. And this stat, if anybody doesn't know the impact you made, just if you don't listen to anything else with stats, listen to this. Entering your senior year, you're the only FBS football player with your season stats up to that point with over 3,000 yards rushing and over 1,000 yards receiving. Did you know that you were the only guy heading into your senior year with those kind of stats?
No, I didn't. A lot of guys, they'll leave after the junior year, so they don't end up on those lists. But man, throughout my time there, I had really good coaching. Starting with Coach Monk, you basically get NFL coaching. Coach Simon, he was a running back and a wide receiver, and he played. So it's different when you learn it from someone that played, actually did it. They give really good advice, good insight, great tips. Man, my teammates, they were great as well. Offensive line, I was fortunate enough to have pretty good offensive line. My 4 years there. Fans, they were always great. They always traveled. They always showed up, no matter if we won or lost. They came out and supported. So I'm really appreciative of everyone that was involved.
Oh yeah, and everybody's appreciative of you for what you did, and getting your senior year, man. You know, coming off back-to-back bowl games and just getting Southern Miss back on the map, and those stats I just read. You're headed for another great year, obviously, and we got Kentucky opening up at the Rock. It's not every day SEC teams are at the Rock. And how was that vibe kicking off the season with Kentucky at the Rock?
It was exciting. You know, everybody was positive going into the game. We think we beat them last year. Beat them again, especially at home. We're not gonna lose at home. Black and gold. But it didn't work out that way. It was really hot that day. Um, Not that it's an excuse or anything. That just came out. But yeah, they took it to us. They got us.
It was a close game, man. And, with my quarterback situation, second half, and then we had a new starter kind of turn things around. But
Nick got a concussion that game?
Uh, I forget what happened that game, but as far as a concussion. But I remember Griggs came
no,
in.
No. Nick wasn't even there. It was
Griggs. Griggs comes in the second half.
Yeah,
and he didn't start the game. So quarterback changed to Griggs. It's all good. That's my job to fill in any blanks. And but Griggs comes in the second half. We lose the game, but it was a close battle. And but we're kind of competing again. That's for sure on the college football map. And so are you feeling like Southern Miss and the fans are feeling everything you're doing in general? Like, I mean, because now we're really rolling along, even though some losses, but we're competing, man. We're really competing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we right there in every game. We have some games where we'll lose that we shouldn't have lost. I think we might have lost the UAB game that year or something. Year before that, man, we had a bad loss against Charlotte. I think that's the game Nick got hurt that I was talking about. But yeah, every game we right there, we compete. So it was really fun.
Heck yeah, man. You're having a lot of fun, presenting a lot of fun on the field. I mean, even a close loss to Tennessee that year, we're really getting Southern Miss back as a tough team to play. But your senior year, things are kind of, slowly coming to a close. And how's it feel knowing the career and the impact you made as things are coming kind of towards a close and an end?
Just keep on grinding, constant grind. Trying to break the records. Want to win, and just trying to reach my ultimate goal of going to the NFL.
Yeah, and we'll get into that real quick. But just kind of your career is ending, and you're ending your career really with a big name game in the Independence Bowl against Florida State, and we got an automatic winning record already. So what was that? I know we didn't win the game that day in one of the coldest games I've ever been to in Shreveport.
Cold.
And I was freezing, man. But hey, we lost the game. But was that pretty cool ending your career against a team like Florida State?
Yeah, that was my favorite team growing up, so it was really cool for me. I think I got out there and I had some kick returns. I had a fumble that game on our side of the field, so I think they scored after that. We were in the game. As always, nobody really just blew us out. I was sad after the game, my last game at the Rock. I mean, not at the Rock, but collegiate game at Southern Miss, uniform on. Really sad.
Yeah, but looking at your career, man, what an impact you made, and looking at your final stats, how impactful they were. When you were done, you were one of only 10 FBS players with over 4,000 rushing yards and over 1,000 receiving yards. Did you know those stats when you were done? We're talking about one of 10 of all time. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah, I was a bad man.
Yes, you were. Smith, the judge, and a lot of times the jury. But you get invited to the Senior Bowl, which is the right thing, and what was the Senior Bowl week like back in your hometown of Mobile, Alabama, too?
Yeah, the Senior Bowl was big. It was kind of close. They were acting like they weren't gonna invite me, but it was. I think I went out. I was the second round invite guy when they sent out the second round of invites. I think that's when I got mine. I was really excited. It was really a dream come true. Me growing up, I always used to go to meet the players every year. I still got cards like I think when Andy Dalton went and Jeremy Curley, I got their autographs on the Senior Bowl card. So it was really cool for me. Really excited. My family was really excited for me. It was a busy week. Trying to learn this playbook so you can be ready on Saturday. You got to meet with scouts. Once practice is over all day, then you got meetings still. film meetings. Um, I don't know. It's just a lot. Just people nagging everywhere. It's just a lot.
Oh yeah, well, it's big money business. They got to analyze and make sure everything's right, and everything was right for you. Wound up going to the fourth round to the Atlanta Falcons, and another stat that's impressive in your career: you're the first running back that got drafted since 1998 from Southern Miss. Did you know that at the time?
I believe I probably saw it. Yeah, I probably saw it. Saw it somewhere.
But big deal for you. And then with that said, you make an impact too as a rookie. But what were some of the things that were transitioned from college to pro that you found maybe challenging or a little bit different to get ready for the NFL?
I was I was a hard worker. So that wasn't really too much for me. Every day in the NFL is just constant grind. You compete for your job every day. Like I said, in college I had an NFL. My coach, John Simon, he played in the NFL, so he's always telling me take care of your body. So I was big on that already. Took care of my body. Film study, you got to do that. I used to watch film in college and study. The main thing for me just was special teams. I didn't really play special teams, so that kind of hurt me in the NFL. I wasn't really a teams guy.
But I mean, you made an impact as a rookie, and you got in enough to really have a stat that's impressive. You wound up having 3 straight games with a touchdown, first rookie in franchise history to do that. Did you know that stat about yourself?
Oh yeah, I knew that one.
Oh yeah, very cool. You had a solid 3-year run there with Atlanta. I know maybe everything didn't go like you want, but what were some other moments from Atlanta you enjoyed the most?
Just the experience, being the NFL guy. Growing up, you watch the NFL on TV, and you think it's just a myth or a dream to make it. And for me to make it to the NFL, it was surreal. Yeah, it was. I'm playing with some of these guys that I've watched on TV, played the video game, Madden. Played with some of these guys. I'm actually out here with them. It's crazy. Can't really believe it.
Oh, very cool. And one thing I do want to ask you, man, I'm a New Orleans guy. I grew up a Saints fan, who dat, but that's the big Falcons rival. Did you feel that rivalry a lot when the Saints were in town and you had to go to New Orleans?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not even a Falcons fan really now. I'll watch them, but for some reason I just hate the Saints. People try to get me to go to all the Saints games. You know, I'm in Mobile. New Orleans is probably an hour 30, hour 45 away. Let's go to No, I'm not going to a Saints game. But I can admit they got some really good fans. They their home games are crazy. Can't even hear on the field. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that stadium is always rocking.
The dome field advantage when the Falcons are around. I've been to several Saints Falcons games. It's rocking, man.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, overall, looking back, you had a solid 3-year run with the Atlanta Falcons, and then in 21, you wound up going from Arizona to Minnesota, wound up being in Dallas. You scored a touchdown in your last game, and so how's this transition since Atlanta been for you?
Just trying to find somewhere where I could stick. The Cardinals, they brought me in the offseason. It was camp, I believe. They wanted me to play in the preseason game. It's the NFL, the business. They don't want to really get their guys hurt, the starters. So they'll bring in guys and just have them filling in. So they cut me after a week. The Vikings was the last week of preseason. They brought me in. They cut me after the game the next day. Then I think I waited probably all the way to December of that year. The Cowboys called me. That's why I really wanted to go out of man. Growing up as a kid, I was a Cowboys fan. You know, like everybody Cowboys fan. So I was a Cowboys fan.
Not everybody.
Yeah, not everybody. But I was a real Cowboys fan though. Like my granddad, he was a big Cowboys fan. I used to have Cowboy jerseys. I used to dress up with Cowboy stuff on. So I was a real Cowboys fan. Tony Romo on my wall in high school. My room blue and gray. So leading up to the draft, that's what I really thought they were going to draft me. They really wanted me. They said they would draft me. So Atlanta drafts me before them. Then I think it's the vice president of, or he's probably just over the what is it? Player personnel. Will McClay. He texted me, "Good, congrats. We were about to get you." I think they had like three or four picks after the Falcons, so they were going to draft me. I was like, man, but I still was excited because I got drafted. But anyway, so he calls me 3 years later, 4 years later, whatever it is, when they're about to give me the job, offer me the job, or whatever. He's like, "Hey, what you up to?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just trying to find somewhere. I still got a little ball in me left." And he's like, "You wanna come sign on our practice squad?" Heck yeah! So man, that was one of the best times of my career. I really loved it there. Family atmosphere. The star is crazy. That's the facility they use. Meet it every day. It's crazy there. The food is good. I just really enjoyed my time there. We played the Eagles. This is like the last game of the season. The Eagles sucked then. And they wanted the rest of the starters. So they called me up and I signed to the active roster and I played that week. Scored my touchdown. I was so happy. That was crazy. Then I think about March. They cut me. You know, it's just the NFL's a business. They'll before they have veterans, if they can find someone they feel like could bring the same amount of what's the word?
Energy, hype,
value. If they can find a rookie that brings the same value, the rookies are way cheaper. Then they'll release the older guy and get the rookie. And so that's what they did. And after they cut me, I was like, man, I scored my last carry in the NFL was a touchdown for the Cowboys. Man, I got to end it on that.
Yeah, no, perfect, man. And Ito, for all the fans who love watching you play from Southern Miss, man, what's some updates right now? You still trying to get on the team? I mean, what's the latest?
Oh no, I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm doing real estate right now. I do a little bit of insurance adjusting on the side. So just that, just hanging out with my family and being back home. You know, it feels good to be back home, man. Being away for so long, college, NFL, and get to see my loved ones every day.
Oh, that's awesome. Absolutely, man. And, you know, like I said, the impact you made, the story we got to tell with you from, you know, coming from kind of the depths of losing at Southern Miss to get us back to 3 straight bowl games, winning ways. So, Ito, with that said, what's a message you have for the Southern Miss fans for the future?
I just want us to get back to winning. We brought us back. Guess we laid the foundation. Just want to get back to winning. Keep supporting the guys. Don't give up on them. We'll be back where we belong. That's about it.
Oh yeah, great message from Ito Smith, the judge, and like I said, starting this interview, the Southern Miss's all-time, all-purpose yards leader. I mean, you definitely couldn't tackle this guy in a phone booth, that's for sure, man. So, but Ito, I think a great way to close this show would kind of be for you and me to give everybody the slogan if you're down with that. So let's give the famous slogan from me, Ito, and myself. Everybody gets a big Southern Miss.
To the top.
To the top. There you go. Well, that's it for another edition of Anyone, Anywhere, Anytime. And I'm going to ask you to do something like I always ask at the end of the show. And it's free and easy to do. Won't take but a second out of your day. And that just helps spread the word of the show. That's all I ask. Pretty please. So looking forward to seeing everybody at homecoming this weekend and sharing some awesome memories and some awesome moments. Until next time, as always, it's Southern Miss to the top.